with all those stories comes always mistakes or things you could have done differently. So those masters share them. You remember one thing that was kind of a mistake or something you could have done differently if it was today?
So I would say back in the day when I had just recently joined the club, of course, as a new person, there's always that hesitation, that fear is still there inside you. You're still wondering if this is a good decision I've made. Is this worth my money? Is this worth my time? And that always lingers at the back of your mind, at least for the first few weeks. What I probably would have done differently is, I think I would have maybe taken up more roles. I should have taken up more roles at that time, because those roles which I couldn't take up at that time, I'm actually taking up now. However, now my perspective is much different. After seeing and observing so many people taking up those roles, it sort of frames your mindset on how that role should be done. While I won't say that it reduces your creativity to be into that role, it does frame your mindset on how that role should be performed. And I'll give you a quick example. Just a simple role of evaluating a speech. You know, you may have seen countless evaluations, so it sort of frames that mindset. But as a new person, had I taken up that role, my perspective on an evaluation, if I were giving an evaluation as a new person to another speaker, my perspective would have been completely different. I would not be as much monitoring the body language, the hand gestures and all of that, which, the usual evaluators would do. I would probably notice how catchy that person was speaking, how it resonated with me, how I liked the message, and things like that. My perspective would have been totally different. So maybe that is one thing, if I can share with any new member or new person now, is to don't sit on that opportunity. Because as we all know, that these opportunities don't come by very often, whether it is within this room or whether it is outside. Don't sit on it. That will be the biggest mistake. That's my takeaway on this.
Thank you very much. Toastmaster Shadia. One or two mistakes.
I'm going to share only one.
Oh, thank you.
When you are competing in a contest, don't be late. I learned that the hard way. When I first joined St. Mary's Toastmasters Club, we did our club contest. I came third for evaluation. But what then happened is that the Toastmasters Sonia, she's one who came first. She had to emigrate to Australia, so she could not compete in the area contest. The person who came second, Toastmaster Edward or something like that, he also won in the other area, so he could not compete in our area. So I was the winner for the club and the representative. Oh, I was so happy and everything. What? Okay. Of course, I got all the coaching, because I was still very new. I did not know anything about evaluation. So I got all the coaching and everything. Okay, we went to our area contest. Oh my God, I came first. You would not believe it. I was over it. I don't know how I won. Now I have to compete in the division. We were doing the division B contest. It was Knowledge Village. I came late. Everybody was already there. It was a new venue. I had never been there before. And it was in auditorium, and they had spotlights. Do you know what happened? When I went in the auditorium, the lights were on. When the contest was now happening, the lights were off. There was a spotlight. When there's a spotlight, you cannot see your audience. When I don't know what happened, I blanked out completely. I could not do my evaluation. Why? Because there was no eye contact. Imagine, Because they can see me, but they can't see them. It's just black. The one thing that I would definitely do differently, I swore after that. But do you know what made me actually stay? Because it was so devastating. The support that I got from everybody. Everybody was so encouraging. Don't worry, Henrietta. It's okay. It's a learning experience. We'll do that. I managed to rise from that advice of disappointment, and I'm still here.
You came satisfied. One mistake. Only one. Quickly.
So when I joined Toastmasters in the first year itself, the club excom decided I'll be the treasurer. So they all made me treasurer, and I handled it, and it was perfectly all right, absolutely fine. We had big events, but funds were perfect. Second year, they made me vice president of education. I was handling the club perfectly all right. But as you know, as she mentioned, our main focus is to attend the contest. So the first year when I attended, I reached up to area level and moved on to division. But division I failed. I couldn't win. Second year, again I reached up to the division level. There also I didn't win. But on the third year when it came, I was much known in the district circle, so they decided like, okay, now the area director to be selected for Division C, so let us finalize Shaji as the next area director. That was the end of it. So after becoming area director, my complete communication track was closed. You cannot compete, once you are into a district leadership. After that, every year, either I am a judge or a chief judge. Even Henrietta has booked me last year as a chief judge, well in advance, at least 2 months in advance. People book 2 or 3 months in advance as a chief judge or a judge. Then you cannot compete. So my request to each and every one here is, if you are on to contest, focus on that. Don't move on to the leadership track. Leadership track will not allow you to keep a contest. So focus on that. That's it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is a good one for our ESCOM team. Sorry for you, but for the rest, you can still compete. Okay. So the last we did the S, we did the M, we will do the T and C together. So T's and C's now, takeaway and conclusion all together. So Toastmaster share.
So very quickly, my takeaway would be, if you are still thinking whether this is the right platform for you, because whether you are a member or whether you are not yet a member, don't hesitate, because there is no other place than this that gives you the skills to experiment. This is your playground. You can do whatever you want, and by the time you walk out, people will still be clapping, and that they're not doing that because they think that you're a really great speaker, but they're doing that because they want to motivate you. So stay here, experiment all you want, get the required skills, because when you go outside, there's a cost to everything. Whether it's in your workplace, you can't make those mistakes, but here you can. This is your safe space. The conclusion would be is, don't hesitate to take up any opportunity, whether that is in the meetings or whether that is giving a speech. I've seen people just sitting and not completing their pathways, and just sitting, and they're still on like the first level, and for like months and 9 months. There's got to be some aspect where you say, okay, now that's enough. I need to actually complete my level 1. So for all those who are still sitting on a level 1, take that as your cue to jump to the next level.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster. I think you're talking to many people. Okay, so Ditya Manuyeta, T's and C's. Takeaway and conclusion.
One takeaway, I would like to address the new members. Make sure you get a mentor who will hold your hand, if I can say it like that, who will hold your hand to make sure that at least you get to know how to navigate the pathways, our curriculum that we use. Because you find that most people struggle with actually just starting. So make sure you get a mentor and make sure you reach out to a mentor every time. And before you deliver a speech, make sure you go through the module. You have no idea how important it is to go through the module and the things that you will learn in that module before you actually script your speech. In conclusion, I would like to say Toastmasters is, for me, it is one of the best platforms I've ever seen. And I would encourage each and every one of you to actually join Toastmasters and be very clear on what it is that you want to achieve when you join Toastmasters. Be very clear about it and communicate it very clearly to your mentor so that you can navigate in the right route. I think that's all I can say.
Thank you very much, Madam. Please insist.
Okay. I normally mention about the 3 P's that we always should practice. The first P is prepare. Prepare your speeches, prepare your roles, whichever role you are taking, draft it, and that gives you a clear idea what exactly to be done. The second P is practice. If you are preparing your speech, practice in front of mirror, in front of your family members, whichever opportunity you get, that will help you out. The third P is performance. Give your best performance whenever you get an opportunity. Don't think that tomorrow I have another opportunity. If it is today, give the best possible. So these 3 P's always keep it in mind. Prepare, practice, and give the best performance possible. And what I am looking forward is either DTAC or World Champion of Public Speaking or a larger platform where I'll be standing on stage, such a big stage, where there will be video live telecast and you have your mic on, like a column mic, and you're standing on a stage and thousands of people watching you and giving a speech where it gives that best shot of your life. That's what I'm looking forward. So I'm training myself for that.
Thank you very much for the ladies and gentlemen, our panelists, they have shared with us the impetus behind the journey. So thank you very much for that. So quickly, I will just